I'm so sorry. This is the technology glitch that we are part of these days. So I think my network broke. I got disconnected. So please join in quickly. Thank you for joining back, everybody. So, yeah, hi. Thank you for joining back. So, just a quick update. We were talking about the fairy tale, and this is story time with Aryah Inspires and Dreamland Publications. We are here to listen to a story, and I was talking about the fairy tale that I have got for you. It is from the land of it's an Irish fairy tale that I have for you, and I'm gonna start the tale. I'm gonna start the story, but I am not going to reveal the name of the story. And while I'm going to narrate the story, if you are able to guess a familiar version of the story that you have heard, share with us in the comments. Okay, so if all of you are ready, we are going to start with our fairy tale, which comes directly from the land of Irish people to all of us. So this tale goes like a long time ago, on the hills of Erin, there was a castle. In that castle lived three sisters: Fair, Brown, and Trembling. Fair and Brown had beautiful dresses and clothes with them, and they used to go to the church every Sunday. But they did not allow Trembling to go out of the house. They asked Trembling to do all the household chores and all the cooking and all the work at home. You better finish all the work, Trembling, and you will not go out of the house. Why are they so rude to Trembling? It was because they felt that Trembling is very beautiful. She is much beautiful than them, and if she goes out, it might be that she will get married before them. So they did not allow Trembling to meet anybody. This continued for 7 years. And after 7 years, today was also a Sunday. So both the sisters, Fair and Brown, got ready and went to the church. But behind them, the hen's wife came to Trembling and asked, "Trembling, I think you should be at the church by now." Trembling said, me at the church? But, I don't have any clothes that are worthy to be worn at the church. And, my sisters are not going to allow me. They'll be very angry if they'll see me at the church. Hen's wife said, "But you ought to be at the church. And you have always been so kind to me. I will help you to go to the church. And I will get you the clothes worthy wearing at the church. So, do you tell me, which clothes do you wish to wear?" Trembling was a little scared. She thought for a while about her sisters. And then she decided, today I will also go to the church. So she looked at the hen's wife and said, "I would like to wear the whitest robe in the world with glittering green shoes." The hen's wife tied his cloak of darkness and clipped a piece of cloth from Trembling's old clothes and picked up her magic wand and sang her favorite song. "This is my magic wand, tap, tap, tap. To see the magic begin, clap, clap, clap. Touching at the head, and touching at the feet, abracadabra, whoosh! And there you go. Trembling was all dressed in her white robe with beautiful glittering green shoes. Trembling could not believe to what she saw just right now. And she was really happy to see herself. Hen's wife led Trembling to the door where a white mare was waiting for her. As soon as Trembling rode the white mare, Hen's wife stopped her and said, "There a warning for you. You should not go inside the doors of the church at any time. And as people rise from the mass, you should leave and ride the mare as fast as you can." Trembling agreed. She was very happy to go to the church. Trembling arrived at the church. People were busy in their daily mass. But as soon as Trembling reached to the door of the church, everybody just looked at Trembling. They could not take their eyes off her. Who was this lady so beautiful in this beautiful white dress? And as soon as they rose from the mass, Trembling waited not even a second. She rode her mare and she just crossed the winds before her to reach as soon as back to her house. By the time Trembling's sister reached back home, Trembling changed her clothes and she was all ready and working over there. When Trembling's sisters reached home, Hen's wife asked them, "Was there anything special at the church today?" The two sisters were so excited. Yes, you know, we saw a beautiful woman on the door. She was wearing the most beautiful white robe. And all the kings and even the poorest beggar wanted to meet her. But she just left without talking to anybody. Now, these two sisters were very jealous from that lady. They looked for that white dress all around the town, but they could not find even one with the finest cloth as it was on that woman. The next Sunday came. The same thing happened. Fair and Brown, two sisters, they dressed themselves and left for the church. Hen's wife came back to Trembling and said, "Trembling, you should be at the church today." Trembling was quiet again. Hen's wife said, "Which clothes do you want to wear for today? Let me know." Trembling gave a thought and then said, "I would like to wear a shining satin black dress with scarlet shoes if I may." Hen's wife again put on her dark cloak, clipped a piece of cloth from Trembling's old clothes, and picked up her magic wand and sang her magic song. "This is my magic wand. Tap, 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 to let the magic begin. Clap, 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 touching at the head and touching at the feet. Abracadabra, whoosh!" And here you go. Trembling was dressed in the black satin dress with scarlet shoes. Hen's wife led Trembling to the door, and where the white mare was waiting for her. Hen's wife stopped Trembling and gave her a warning. Do you know which warning? If you know, you can share in the comments. Yes, she gave the warning. You better do not enter inside the door of the church. And as soon as people rise from the mass, you should leave on your white mare as fast as it can take you. Trembling remembered the advice. She went to the church. Today, everybody was curious. Are they going to see that magical, beautiful woman again? And all the eyes were on the door. And as soon as Trembling reached the door, everybody turned their head to see a woman so beautiful, dressed in black satin dress with scarlet shoes. But as soon as they rose from the mass, Trembling ran to the mare, and the mare took, breaking the winds before her, back to her home. Now today, as also, when Fair and Brown returned home, Hen's wife asked, was there anything special today also? Fair and Brown were too excited. You know, yes, today the same lady came again. And now today she was dressed in a black satin robe. She was looking so beautiful. And you remember, yes, I remember her scarlet, shining, glittering shoes. They were so pretty. Fair and Brown, like the last time, looked for that black dress and those scarlet shoes all across the town. But not even a single dress in the town had the finest and the shine that the black dress had. The week passed and the Sunday came again. Fair and Brown went to the church like always. They left Trembling back at home to do the work and washing and cooking. And as the last 2 Sundays, Hen's wife came again to Trembling. And what did she say? Trembling, you should be at the church by now. The Trembling was again quiet. Hen's wife said, which dress do you wish to wear today? You can also keep on sharing which dress Trembling would want to wear today. Trembling thought a bit and said, I would like to wear a dress that is red above the waist and white like the snow below the waist. I will also like to have a green cape on my shoulder and a hat on my head with the feathers red, white and green in color. And for my toes, I would like to have blue shoes shining like the sky on our head to wear for the church, if I may. Hen's wife again took her cloak of darkness. She clipped a cloth from Trembling's dress. She picked up her magic wand and sang the song again. And if we cannot see you right now in person, but at your home, if possible, you can sing the song of magic with our Hen's wife. This is my magic wand. Tap, tap, tap. To let the magic begin. Clap, clap, clap. Touch it on your head and touch it on your feet. Abracadabra, whoosh. And here you see Trembling in the most beautiful robe ever existed in the entire world. Her shoes were like as blue as the sky. Hen's wife led Trembling again to the door, and she gave the same warning. Do not go inside the door of the church, and leave the church as soon as the people rise from the mass. Today, the entire crowd was not just inside the church, it was outside the church all around. Everybody around the town came to know about this mystery woman. So Trembling could only reach till the gate of the church. She could not enter inside the church looking at the number of people all across. She stayed over there for the mass to end. And as soon as the mass finished and people rose from their seats, can you guess what happened? Can you guess what happened? Was Trembling able to run from the mass like always? Or she got into some problem? You can keep on guessing. So Trembling just ran to her mare, and she took the mare as fast as she can. But the Prince of Erin was waiting right at the gate for Trembling. She tried to seize Trembling, but only her shoe came into his hand. Trembling rode her mare and reached back home. She narrated everything to the hen's wife. And when her sisters came back, they were so excited. They said, you know what? We saw that woman again. But today the prince was able to get her shoe. Now, few days passed. The prince made an announcement that whosoever girl fits into the shoe, I will marry that girl. The king's men went from one house to the other house, but no one had the luck to fit into that shoe. Finally, they reached to the house of these three sisters, Fair, Brown and Trembling. Fair and Brown, as always, were very jealous of Trembling. They locked Trembling inside a cupboard. And when they went outside to try the shoe, they tried hard with all the tricks they could possibly do. But they were unable to fit into that shoe. The king's men shouted, "Hello, is there anybody else inside? Hello, is there any young woman out there?" Trembling with all her might shouted, I am here inside the cupboard. Unlock me, please." And the king's men brought Trembling outside. Trembling tried the shoe and it fitted her so beautifully. The prince decided to marry Trembling. And in this Irish version of this folk tale, the prince did not get to marry Trembling so easily. All the kings and the prince from the surrounding areas, they came there and said, "You cannot marry this girl just like that. We are here. We want to marry her. I want to." So the king from Lochlin, the prince from Spain, the prince from Zulu, everybody was ready to marry Trembling. But the Prince of Erin fought one day with one town, the other day with the other prince, and it continued and continued and continued. Finally, there was nobody left to fight with him, and he married Trembling. Again, to my surprise, in Irish folktale, this story does not end right here. It even continued where Trembling and the prince had 14 children, and then what happened next? But for that, we will listen to the story some other time. But for today, this is the story that I had for you about the beautiful girl Trembling and her sisters Fair and Brown. And as I could see, we have so many people answering as I got so many answers, and a lot of people answered Cinderella. Yes, I also feel that this story is very similar to the Cinderella story, and it was an amazing part for me to read the story and how the story changed, but the entire plot of this fairy tale remains same from while it traveled to the land of Irish people. So we are waiting for Shivani to come over. I think I have a request from Shivani to talk about the book. And amazing. So this is not just one fairy tale. We have so many other fairy tales as part of the books, which we should be rating. Hi, Shivani.
Hello, Shikha. Thank you so much for bringing such a different version of Cinderella that we've all been reading for so many years. And
Yeah,
like I've been talking about it very, very, openly, that while there is a lot of contemplation, while there is a lot of doubt about fairy tales have passed the test of time. They are beautiful.
absolutely.
They make children curious. They make children imaginative. They have beautiful story structures. They teach a lot about empathy, friendship, goals, and whatever you don't like. If you don't like Tremblin or Cinderella fitting in a shoe, change the narrative. Talk to your
Absolutely.
children about it.
Absolutely. And even not changing the narrative, Shivani, one more thing that goes like telling this fairy tale as it is it brings in a lot of conversation that we can have with children. So, telling a fairy tale to have that conversation of right or wrong or the perspective changing with time, I think fairy tales are the best medium to do that.
Absolutely. Totally, totally agree. And that's why on today, on World Book Day, which is mostly celebrated in Ireland and UK and originated from there, we thought let's bring an Irish folk tale for you. Irish fairy tale, which is a fairy tale genre of the folk tales. And Dreamland has this beautiful book called 101 Fairy Tales Book, which has not just one, two, three, four, five, but 101 of such dreamy, beautiful tales. Apart
Imagine,
from
yeah.
that, apart from that, they also do have this very famous folktale series from Panchtantra. They have it's a book of 10 sets, and you could grab that as well. And like we have been telling every week, there are so many other beautiful books for your children. Buy them on Amazon, Flipkart, First Cry, or just DM and contact Dreamlands on Instagram and Facebook. And you can place your order. It's that easy. But keep reading. And like Shikha
Yeah,
very nicely put, that every story gives you a chance to initiate conversations, to uh, reflect, to build perspectives. And that's what stories do for us.
absolutely.
So that was our story bite for the day. Keep reading. Don't omit, don't delete, don't, just throw away certain stories. Take them on, bring them on, read them for yourself, read them with your children, read them with anybody you can, and break the, whatever you feel is not right about it. Let's talk about it rather than just rushing away from it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you,
So,
Shika. Thank you for that beautiful story. I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed singing with you. I'm sure everybody who has joined in did that too. And like every time, we'll be back next time very, very soon with another story, with another teller, and with lots of fun. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you, Shivani. And bye bye. Thank you for joining in, everybody. Bye. See ya.